Ananya. I'm a junior content manager with Trip 101. Today we are going to be learning all about a beautiful property located in the Philippines. It's called Mike's Dauin Beach Resort, and today Chester, who's the resort manager at this property, will be joining us to tell us more about this property and the location. So let's begin. Hi Chester, welcome to your conversation with Trip 101. Why don't you start by introducing yourself and the resort that you work at?
All right, thank you. So my name is Chester. I am the resort manager of Mike's Dauin Beach Resort, which is located in Dawin. That's around 15 kilometers south of Dumagete City, which is around south of the Philippines. I run a 12-room and one villa resort that also has a dive center. We have a restaurant and diving facilities.
That's great. This is a beach property that you have?
Yes, that is correct. We're located right on the beach, right in the heart of the town of Dawin. The property's been around since 2009. It was built and owned by Mike Feeney himself. His kids was born and grew up in Dawin. But as the kids got older, he decided to bring them back to the US to be educated there. But he still comes back twice a year. So in his absence, I am managing the property for him.
Ah, okay. Um, could you tell us more about the beach? Is it a private beach or a public beach that you have?
Okay. All right. So the resort is located right on the beach, but the beach itself is public property, like most parts of the Philippines. It is not white sand as people would usually visualize beaches, unlike other destinations in the Philippines. It is volcanic sand. I like to call it caramel brown sand.
Okay. What's the public beach called?
It just basically just Dauin Beach. Dauin Beach, Dawin is the name of the town itself. It's a long stretch. The beach is long and winding. It just hugs the coastline. In some parts, it is rocky. In some parts, it is not quite sandy.
Is there like a specific time of the year when the beach near you is like really good to visit in terms of like spotting things while you're diving, or is it same through the year?
Okay, very good question. So, weather-wise, late March till early June is the hottest. It is the hottest time of the year. It's the best time to go weather-wise. Diving-wise, we dive pretty much the whole year round. We just try to be careful. If the weather's too rough, well, of course, safety first. We would choose dive sites that are in the sheltered area. It's very popular for divers, it's very popular from November until May. We have primarily a Western market. So when it snows in Europe or in the United States, then that's like birds. They fly south for the winter and they go diving with us. Specifically for divers, we have the octopus season, which is from August until December. We can see around 8 different species of octopus during that time of year. Right now, from January till now, we have the frogfish season, where we can see different kinds of frogfish.
Ah, okay. Apart from the frogfish and the octopus, what are the other creatures that can be found on the beach?
Oh, those are the specialties. I mean, but things like the snappers, the stingrays, turtles. We get a lot of turtles right now. Just at the shoreline. Don't have to go to Apo Island.
That's great. You're quite rich when it comes to sea creatures. Then, just a while ago, we were talking about the time of the year. Is there like a busy season and like a low season for you, or
There,
any months that you specifically have?
There is. The busiest season is like I said, because of the Westerners when they're trying to go on vacation during the wintertime. It is from November until mid-May. And then the low season is between those. For the high season, I do suggest people would book, you know, a month ahead. But if it is like the major holidays like Christmas, New Year, Chinese New Year, Easter holidays, I would suggest as early as 2 months ahead if you want to be able to book one of our premium rooms.
So, what are all the options for the rooms that you have on the property?
Okay. And let me show you some pictures of the resort itself. So before I show you the picture of the resort, I am proud to say that we are number one of 14 hotels in Dawin as tested by TripAdvisor. In fact, just a few weeks ago, we were awarded TripAdvisor's Traveler's Choice Awards for 2024. And in other sites like Agoda on top, we are rated 8.9 and then 9.2 for booking.com. Now let me show you some pictures of the resort. So here we have pictures on the left are the deluxe and the standard rooms. The ones on the corner are the deluxe rooms themselves. So like there are only 2 units, 2 deluxe rooms, one on the ground floor, one on the second floor. The one on the second floor is the one that's premium, as in people really want that room. So if you plan on booking for the busy holidays like Christmas, you really have to book ahead. The one on the right, unfortunately, which is shaded, is the restaurant itself. So that's another view. We have a lot of coconut trees around the property, the quintessential tropical getaway. And here is a view of our pool. There are a lot of lounge chairs. So that is actually the picture taken from the deluxe room on the second floor. So that is why it is the premium room. It has the best view in the whole property. Another view of our property from the sea. And this is what it looks like at night. So as you can see, it's a nice, relaxed, casual dining. I'd like to consider our resort as something low key, unassuming, but we always try our best to provide the best quality of service. And here are some view of the rooms. This is what it looks like on the deluxe room since it's a corner unit. You have doors on both sides, and there is an air conditioning. There is an air conditioning and also a ceiling fan in case you want to go au naturel, especially on the windy months from November until March. And this is the view. This is the standard room. Although it's still a corner unit, but it's on the other side and it's a garden view. And this is a triple room. As you can see, there is a sofa. It is bigger than the standard room, but we can turn that sofa into a bed so you can fit in 3 people. And every room has either a balcony if it's on the second floor, like what you've shown here, or your own patio, as shown here.
That was a really fabulous view of the rooms that you shared with us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to be very well prepared for this.
Maybe we can get into some of the other amenities at the property now. You showed
Mhm.
us the restaurant a little bit, so maybe you can talk
Mhm.
about that, the kind of options that it has in terms of dining.
In terms of dining, okay. So our restaurant serves the usual Western cuisine, like spaghettis and pizzas and burgers. But of course, being in the Philippines, we also serve the best of the Philippine food, the adobos, the afritadas, the kinilaw, which is our version of the Spanish ceviche. And every now and then, our suppliers will have a fresh catch. They'll bring it to us, and we'll have it as a special, whether it's tuna or mahi mahi or dorado or fresh shrimps. Um, what else? Because Mike himself grew up in California, we're actually known in the area for our Mexican food. I know those are big words to say considering we're halfway around the world for Mexico, but we have had guests from California, Texas, and Arizona. They say we have done it justice considering we're so far away. It's not quite the same as Mexican, but they say for the Philippines, it's pretty good. And of course, aside from the restaurant, we have the bar where we serve fruit shakes. We can serve smoothies, the local alcohol, like the different kinds of beer. In fact, there is a local brewer here that has um, would craft their own beers called Birdie Num Num. You can try them out; they're very good. And sodas and cocktails, of course.
That sounds quite extensive. Is there any a local dish that you'd specifically recommend to your guests?
Yes, there is. I would highly recommend our local dishes like adobo, which is chicken and pork stew cooked in vinegar and soy sauce. Or they can try our chicken tinola soup, which is chicken broth that is a clear soup. Or the ceviche, which is Either can be tuna, Spanish mackerel, or wahoo, or mahi-mahi that's cooked in vinegar with some ginger, some onions, and some tomatoes.
A short while ago, you were mentioning boat tours and all. So could you tell us a little bit more about any such tours that you do and any other activities that you host for the guests that are staying at the property?
Sure thing. Allow me to share the screen so I can show you the pictures. So once you've reached the resort, since we're primarily a dive center, we take people diving. We are a PADI 5-star dive resort, which means we can, if you are not a diver, we can actually conduct the course with an instructor. Or if you don't want to spend 3 to 5 days taking the course, we can still take people diving with the PADI Discover Scuba Diving, which only is 3 to 5 hours. And I'm happy to say that we are a certified silver member of Green Fins. That is a certifying agency that awards these recognition for resorts who do try to protect the environment. Now, so let me just show you. So this is our dive map for Dawin. As you can see, these are all the different dive sites that we would take people diving. About the 24 dive sites in Dawin, 17 of them are muck sites, meaning people look for the weird small creatures that are only found in a handful of places of the world. But for those who are newly certified divers or who just want to go snorkeling also, there are around 7 of these dive sites that have beautiful corals and lots of fish. And all of these have chances to see turtles. A lot of the turtles actually feed on the seagrass that can found in a lot of these places. And as you can see on the lower right of the map is Apo Island, which I mentioned earlier has been a sanctuary since 1984. It is the country's second marine sanctuary, a protected area. And as you can see, there are around 10 to 11 dive sites that we can dive. We can take people diving there. It has around 600 species of corals. It has around 450 species of fish. So it's a beautiful place to go diving. So take people diving and snorkeling, we actually use 2 boats. We have the big boat on the left and the small speedboat on the right. The speedboat, we can handle about 6 divers to take them diving around Dawin. Don't use that for Apo because Apo, it's a whole day thing. So we need the bigger boat, which is Miley K2, which can fit 16 people. It has a toilet and a small kitchen. So people can be more comfortable being in Apo Island for the whole day.
And you do diving, like you
Every
take
day.
guests diving every day?
Oh, yeah. Every day. 365 days a year. We're diving every day.
Okay.
We take people out diving, even if there's only one of them. And we've had as many as 24 divers this year.
Okay. And do you have like packages that you offer, or how does one book like the diving? Is it like while booking the rooms, etc., they can also select the diving package, or is it like something that they do once they arrive?
It can be both. But since we're a small operation, it would help us a lot if they inform us that they're planning on doing diving. What we normally, our day-to-day goes is we would get an inquiry. If it's an OTA like Agoda or Booking.com, we would already ask them, are you planning any diving? So if they let us know, so at least I can put them on the dive schedule. If they book through our website, there are already specific questions. If they're divers or not, what's their certification level? So knowing these pieces of information, it would allow me to put divers on the dive schedule because we are a small dive operation and we try safety is always our first priority. I don't put for every dive master, they can only handle as much as 4 to 6 divers and no more. So if I have more than, let's say, 10 divers, then I would have to look for more dive masters, more boats, more tanks to make sure that everybody has a good time scuba diving with us. But every now and then, um, like what we experienced during the Chinese New Year, we had a lot of Westerners that actually booked through the online travel agencies. And when they arrived, that's the only time they told us that are scuba divers and they want to go diving. And we do our very best to look for equipment dive masters, anything that they would need to have a good time. But the more, if our guests would tell us beforehand, then I we would have a more efficient operation. But regardless, we will do our very best to show them a good time. So, uh, apart from taking people scuba diving around Dawin and Apo Island, we do get people who come to our resort who are not divers, or the divers themselves who don't want to be diving every day. We can help them see the other sites of the area, like the waterfalls that are found in. Since we're located close to Mount Talinis National Park, there is a lot of falls that people can go. There's actually a dozen waterfalls, but two of the ones that are easy to get to are Casaroro Falls on the left and Pulang Bato. Both of them are just 45 minutes away from the resort. Casaroro Falls, as you can see, the picture is actually more majestic. It is about, my estimate is 24 meters or 80 feet high. Okay, but it entails taking 350 steps going down and a 30 to 45-minute hike upriver to get to the falls. But once you get there, it is a roaring. The noise that the waterfalls make is roaring. Whereas Pulang Bato, it is smaller. As you can see, it's around 12 meters or 40 feet high, but it is much, much easier to get to. So it depends on how much effort you want to make. You can choose any of these falls. We can easily help the guests arrange for a van to take them to either of these or both of these, which can be done on the same day. Also located within the national park is the Twin Lakes, Balinsasayao Twin Lakes. It is much farther away. It's about 1.5 hours away from our resort, but it's very beautiful. It is a very popular place for bird watchers or birders, as we call it. We have been bringing people there, easily once a week. Mostly private trips. Even if there's only one or two of you, we can arrange for a full van to take you there. Or if you're feeling adventurous, we can help you rent a scooter so you can go by yourself. All of these sites can be found on Google Maps, and it's quite easy to get to. All the roads are decent, they're paved, so you don't have to worry about it. And also, in Bais, which is about 2 hours away from the resort, you can do dolphin watching and see the Manuyot sandbar. This is whole year round. There is actually a pot of dolphins that can be found there the whole year round. But you have to be there. You have to be at the pier before 8 o'clock. That means you have to leave the resort at 6 to get to the pier, and the boat will take you out. It's only about a less than 30-minute boat ride where the dolphins are. Dolphins will hang around with the people until 10 o'clock. Then after that, they spread out to go feeding. Okay. So after the dolphins, then you can spend the rest of the day on the sandbar on the right side. At low tide, that greenish patch becomes all sand. The people can walk around and spend a nice leisurely day. And that's it for the sightseeing.
That's pretty great. Are there any other facilities or amenities at the resort that you'd like to highlight?
What else can I do? Well, even though we don't have our own spa center, we do have masseuse or spa therapists that we can give them a call, and you can have your massage in your room, in the privacy of your room. So far, everybody that has availed that service has been very, very happy with it. And as I mentioned a while ago also, if you are feeling adventurous, you can rent a scooter from us. We'll give somebody a call and they'll bring the scooter around. And yeah, it's at this time, the charge is around 500 pesos for 24 hours. So it's not very expensive. And aside from that, if I may, Mike's Dawin Resort has a wonderful location, which is in the heart of Dawin. There are 34 other resorts along the stretch, but we're one of the few that is right in the heart of Dawin, which means that there are around 6 other wonderful restaurants that you can try. It's safe enough. You can walk around the small town of Dawin, meet the locals, see the local culture, and immerse yourself in what the country has to offer. And apart from those 7 restaurants, a lot of them don't accept credit cards. But the good thing is there are 4 ATMs that are 15-minute walk from our resort. So if you want the true Darwin experience, I can safely say we are the place for it.
That's great. You preempted my next question. I was going to ask you about Dawin. Now, could you paint a picture of the town for us a little bit more? Like, what's the vibe of the town like? What type of travelers would
Mhm.
generally enjoy it?
So Darwin is a small, quiet town. It's not very developed, like in other parts of the world. It's like other parts of the Philippines, like Boracay, which is one of the most famous destinations in the Philippines. It has still that rural, provincial, rustic charm where the people are friendly. They would say hi to everyone, even to tourists that are strangers to them. Um, Negros Oriental is called the province of the friendly people, which is aptly named, I believe. So don't expect things that are very well developed, but if you want to experience authenticity, something that's natural, then I would say this is a good place to visit.
So it's definitely a quiet getaway from.
It is a
uh,
quiet getaway. It is a quiet getaway. We're not overdeveloped. We're not overly commercialized yet. I would say we are balanced, not too much of one thing.
Alright. Is it safe to go around in the neighborhood at night? Like you already
Mhm.
mentioned, they're friendly, but what sort of like nightlife does it have?
It is very safe here. In terms of the people are friendly and they do not harm or harass tourists. In terms of nightlife, to be honest with you, we are not like other places where you go tugs 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 tugs. Okay. A lot of the restaurants would already be closed at 9 o'clock. There's about 6 restaurants right now. There is a Nahao, which is a vegan restaurant. There is Jardine, which is Western food. There is Fin Bar, Soba, which is a Korean restaurant. There's Locale for Southeast Asian curry. And there is Fronte Mare, which is an Italian pizzeria that is run by an Italian guy. So if you want to just eat and have a nice conversation, then this is the place. But if you want to party, that is not us. That is not us, unfortunately.
Ties in with the quiet location that it is, right?
A lot of the people come here are, how do you say this? Nature oriented. So a lot of people here care about the environment. So, if you want to talk about diving, turtles, the environment, this is the place to be.
Apart from like the trips and the diving that you've already highlighted, are there any other attractions or like nature trails or something like that that people can venture into on their own?
So there are a few other places that I did not mention on the slideshow. There are some hot springs. There is Baslay Highlands Coffee. There are a lot more that are found on Google Maps that you can get to with a scooter.
Okay, so like a short ride away.
Yes, depends. Some can be as close as 30 minutes away. Some can be as far as an hour away.
Okay. How far did you mention were you from Dumagete?
From the airport, we are about 17 kilometers or 30 to 45 minutes away, safe to say. So
Okay.
convenient enough.
So you can be close enough to the city, but still be in a quiet.
Yes. The best way to describe this place is I tell the guests, we are like a budget-friendly version of Hawaii. You have Dumagete City, where there's a lot of restaurants, there's a few malls, there's a cinema where you can get your taste of civilization. And then a few kilometers away, you have Dawin, wherein the water is clean enough that you can still go scuba diving. Scuba diving and snorkeling. And then you have the mountains. Uh, where you can go hiking and the waterfalls. So it is what I call the triangle. And everything is balanced. There's not too much of everything. Everything is very, very well balanced.
That's pretty great. The last question from my side, tips that you would like to share with your prospective guests or anything they should know about before they come to you at your resort.
Okay, so Mike's Dauin Beach Resort is we are not we are not luxurious, unlike some of the other resorts in the area. but we are not backpackers. We are in the mid-range. We're not fancy. We're low-key and unassuming, but we have a great team. I have a great staff that I'm very fortunate in. And we always do our best to show you guys a wonderful time. Uh, just just imagine patience, don't expect luxury, and you will have a great time with us.
That's great. Anything that they shouldn't forget to pack while they're coming?
All right. We will supply the towels, the body wash, the shampoo, but please bring your own toothpaste, toothbrush, water container, and flip-flops. So like I said, we are environmentally conscious. We like to lower carbon footprint, and we don't like to have these as disposables.
That's pretty great. I think I've exhausted all my questions. We also have Kevin on the call with us today. He's a content researcher from Trip 101. He's based out of the Philippines. So he also has some questions for you, Chester. So Kevin, go ahead.
So,
Mhm.
is there like a marine conservation program you guys are getting into, or like beach cleaning initiatives?
There is. Let's see. Good thing you asked. About a few months ago, Paddy, the dive agency we represent, just gave us a grant for a project Pawikan. Pawikan is the Tagalog word or the Filipino word for sea turtle. So as you can see here, we made a Facebook page. We are now cataloging all the turtles that can be found in this area. You can see all the areas here, okay, where we can find all the turtles, which based on the coast of Dawin. And we encourage other divers to help us out. This is a citizen science project. So here, people will just need to take a picture on the left side of the face of the turtle, and they can upload it here. And then our project officer, Jonathan Anderson, will put it in his database and catalog and put it in his database. If it is a unique sea turtle that has not been cataloged yet, you actually have the honor of giving the name to the turtle itself.
Wow, that's so great.
It is.
So, how many unique turtles you guys discovered, or any new species?
I mean, there in terms of species, it's only mostly the green sea turtle that can be found here, and a few hawksbill. So we're cataloging both, but it's mostly sea turtles, and we're cataloging each individual.
I see.
Each individual. We suspect there could be around 300, but we will verify it in a few months once the database has been slowly filled up.
I see. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. So it's really great that you guys are doing this kind of initiative, and also being eco-conscious.
You're very welcome. It is our pleasure to save the environment for the future generations.
Wow, yeah, that's great. And then also um you're near Dumagete, right? So the
Yes.
flight from Manila is it direct to Dumagete?
Yes. We have direct flights from Manila and Cebu City with Philippine
Okay.
Airlines, Cebu City, Philippine Airlines, Cebu Pacific, and sometimes Air Asia.
And then also you mentioned those restaurants that are in the town, but
Mhm.
are there any like carinderias and street?
Oh yeah. Yes, there is. I mean, the ones that I mentioned are the ones that are frequented by the tourists. But for those who are quite adventurous, yeah, there are still the local Filipino carinderias that are more catered to the locals, or for those adventurous tourists with an iron stomach, similar to a Filipino.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thanks, Chester, and
You're very
congrats on
welcome.
getting the Trip Advisor Award.
Thank you. So if you want to look for us, you can simply Google Darwin diving. As you can see, will come out on the first page, right here, Mike's Dauin Beach Resort. Or, and this will, if you click on that link, this shows you our website right here. Okay? And you can find out more information. Or you can also find us on Facebook, Mike's Dauin Beach Resort. These are all the pictures if you want to know more about us, which also includes the Turtle Project. We also have our Instagram page, which is Mike's Dauin Beach Resort. And also you can find us on TripAdvisor. If you Google Dauin Resorts, as you can see, we are rated #1, 5-star or 5 bubbles with 699 reviews. And that is it.
Thanks for
There you
sharing.
go. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for indulging me.